Hello everyone, my name is Nilsor and welcome to my vault. Today on Fallout New Vegas 101 we are going to talk about one of your companions, Raul Tejada. Raul Alfonso Tejada was born in 2047 near Mexico City, which makes him 234 years old when you meet him. He came from a big family who live in the Hidalgo ranch outside of the capital, far enough to have pretty much avoided the nuclear radiations after the bomb fell in 2077. Unfortunately, several waves of refugees came to the ranch, so many that they had to turn some away in the end, leading a group of raiders to attack the ranch and kill almost everyone in it. Raul survived and fled with his sister, Rafaela, although he was badly burned during the escape. As for his father, mother, grandmother, 2 brothers and 2 other sisters, they all perished during the attack. With his sibling, they went to Mexico City, now a complete free-for-all irradiated zone. They became scavengers and were able to loot basic survival supplies as well as drugs to treat Raul's burns. Soon after, the radiation within the city started his ghoulification process. During their time there, he found a traditional vaquero outfit, to Rafaela's amusement, which he wore and made him later on become a sharpshooter legend called the Ghost of Mexico City, against which reckless fools went up against to prove their worth, never to come back. Raul's suffering due to both his burns and radiations increased over time, so much that Rafaela had to go provide for 2. Once, she didn't came back from one of her scavenger run. Raul then searched for her, only to find her brutally murdered dead body, only recognizable through a tiny scar on her knee. He tracked down the raiders responsible and butchered them all. Afterwards, he left the city for good, leaving behind all aspects of his former life, including what he calls his face, and searching for a place where he will never bond with anyone ever again. During his wandering, he stumbled upon a Puerto Chico jumpsuit belonging to a guy named Miguel. Raul decided to wear it and to take it as his new identity. He then ventured to Arizona to the town of Tucson, now called Tucson, where he settled as a peaceful mechanic for 75 years, leaving behind his gunslinger's way. During this relatively peaceful time, Raul met a prostitute named Claudia who bared resemblance to Rafaela. He took time to look out for her, spurred by this reminder of what he lost. But Arizona was at the time overrun by raiders. One day, a certain man named Dirty Dave and his 6 brothers came to the city for ammunition. Raul gave it to them, hoping they would leave. They did, but before that they attacked the town's brothel, slaying everyone in it except for Claudia, who they took with them when they departed. Raul, once again, picked up his pistols and chased them. Only too late did he catch up to them. Claudia was already dead. He let out his wrath, exhausting all his ammos on the raiders until they were all dead, taking himself several serious injuries in the process. After letting himself healed up in the wasteland for what seems an eternity, Raul returned to Tucson, which started being conquered by Caesar's legion, bringing with it a security Raul hadn't seen in a long time, even if it meant living under a dictatorship. In any case, he left and wandered until he arrived in the Mojave. Swearing to never be a gunslinger again, and starting to feel his crackling old bones, he stumbled upon the Black Mountain radio signal. Passing the time listening to it, he went up there when he lost the signal to repair what needed to be. It is there that he met Tabitha, a super mutant leader which declared Black Mountain as a new nation called the State of Utobitha, a safe haven for the super mutant kind under her rule. He fixed the radio transmitter, but Tabitha asked him, so to speak, to stay to repair her best robot friend, Rhonda. Unable to succeed in repairs, Tabitha imprisoned him until he would. Or actually, until a certain courier came up the mountain to free him. Today, Raul is an old ghoul who is starting more and more to feel the years passing by, whether from his eyes that are starting to fail him, or his bones cracking each time he has to crouch. This led him to develop an acute sense of sarcasm, which he oftenly uses now to refer to his old age. He went through a lot during his life, which is not surprising considering he is a more than 200 years old ghoul who spent most of his life in a post-nuclear world. During that time, Raul assumed several identities. He was Raul Alfonso Tejada at his family ranch. After that he became the ghost of Mexico City, a vaquero legend. Then Miguel was born, the quiet repairman at Tucson. When he was captured by Tabitha, he was Raul, Utobisa's mechanic. And after that he is not sure who or what he should do exactly. But during all that, he seemed to have faced an unfortunate recurring pattern. First, living in a place where he has an attach to someone. That person is then murdered. Raul then go on a revenge path, move out of town, and take a new identity in a new place before repeating the first step. He mainly switched his facade between being a legendary gunslinger and a peaceful repairman. When you meet him in the Mojave, Raul is not so much now in the search of who he is, because he knows that after all this time he only has a choice between being a gunslinger or a repairman, but on what he should do now, especially considering how old and a liability he thinks he has become. Raul's inner conflict has more to do with the question of where do I go from here, and not so much with who am I. On a more meta level, Raul connects with New Vegas' theme dealing with the future. Through the player's perception, you learn about each faction like you learn about the different faces Raul wore. In the end, you can't change them. No matter what you do, you can't change how the NCR or the Legion is functioning fundamentally, nor can you change how Raul thinks he can be. But you can help choosing which way they should go in the near future. To recruit Raul, you only need to find him behind a closed door in this building on top of Black Mountain. But before that, you might want to try completing the crazy quest given by Neil here at the base of the mountain. This quest asks you to go up there to get rid of a super mutant called Tabitha, who is the one holding Raul prisoner. Simply go up the mountain, then either kill Tabitha inside the broadcast building after you've retrieved the key to her room behind the stairs leading to it, or repair her robot friend Rhonda inside the storage room to complete the quest peacefully. If you enter the building where Raul is prisoner and free him before that, Tabitha will come up to you and attack you, forcing you to kill her. To open the locked door leading to Raul, you can either hack the terminal next to it, or find the computer password inside the entry number 6 from the other terminal in the room. Raul will make you benefit from his regular maintenance perk, which slows down the rate at which your equipment deteriorates by 50%. You will also benefit from his gunslinging capability. It is Raul's unmarked personal quest where you will help him decide if he should go back to his old ways as a vigilante gunslinger or as a peaceful repairman. To complete it, you must have Raul with you and go talk to 3 different people. Ranger Andy at Novak, about what he's doing here and what happened to his leg. Loyal at Nellis Air Force Base, about anything. And Corporal Sterling at Camp McCarran, or Camp Forlorn Hope if the first recon was sent there, about his capture by the Legion and how he escaped. After each conversation, Raul will prompt a dialogue with you where he asks you how you perceive old people still trying to be useful. At the end of the third dialogue, Raul will tell you his decision between his 2 possible ways of life. The default one will vary upon how your previous conversations with him went. You can go the other direction with a speed check of 66. If Raul goes back to his gunslinging ways, he will receive the old Vaquero perk, increasing his fire rate with revolvers and lever action rifles by 33%, as well as his old Vaquero outfit. If Raul goes for the peaceful mechanic way, he will receive the full maintenance perk, reducing your equipment rate degradation by 75%, as well as an armored Petro Chico outfit. Raul's endings will vary upon if he is still alive, if you completed his quest, and which path you set him upon. If he died, Raul's luck seems to have abandoned him after such a long life, laying him finally to rest. If you didn't complete his quest, Raul will depart from the Mojave after having been unable to find an answer to his question regarding his utility as an old man. He went on in another region, assuming a new name and identity like he did so many times before. If you convince him to become a vaquero again, his vigilante ways produce several tales in the Mojave about a ghost vaquero who hunts down those who prey on the weak. If you convinced him to continue being a peaceful repairman, he retired and settled down in outer Vegas, where he spent his days fixing ancient machinery. On the next video, we are going to talk about Lily Bowen. Thank you for watching, and see you later!